And now I'm gonna go over the vocab one more time and write them nicely and neatly so I can retain the words. So I will put verbs in action. هنا I will put أفعال. أفعال. And all the verbs that appear to me over here or I came across, I will write them down here with examples. So I'll put زاد, and that's the one we said زاد السعر. We can put السعر. The cost increased. The example we have in the text is زاد عدد السكان. عدد السكان. When I write as slowly as I can, so I can keep my writing steady. زاد عدد السكان. And then we said قضى عمل. We already know عمل. It's quite common to work. ولكن قضى وقت. He spent the time. And then فراغ. قضى وقت فراغه في الشاطئ, at the beach. في. And الشاطئ is like seashore. الشاطئ. قضى وقت فراغه في الشاطئ. And I will take another one that I didn't practice before, which is تزدحم. And the verb is ازدحم. ازدحم. And I'll put it over here. ازدحم. حم. ازدحم السوق. The market got crowded. I put a word that would remind me of the meaning. So سوق is usually the one that is always crowded. So I would put also ازدحم السوق. قضى وقت فراغه في الشاطئ. And then زاد عدد السكان. And then زاد السعر. And زاد is increase. قضى spend. ازدحم get crowded. I prefer in some cases not to include English so you can have more exposure to the Arabic text. And then I will move on to see, okay, تفعل, we got that part, we read it. I'll move on to the second page. This one has more words, and we've seen them in previous classes. If you have the worksheet that has hospitals, emergency calling, and some other related words, you can refer to it and then review this paragraph. Here's the one we need. يحمل. يحمل. I'll read the entire text. These are completely different sentences, if I should say, because they describe the images we have in this kind of encyclopedia or little collage. There we go. So we would say يحمل رجل الإسعاف. يحمل رجل الإسعاف أحد المصابين إلى المستشفى. إلى المستشفى في سيارة الإسعاف. وقد أنار المصباح الموجود أعلاها. And ها refers to سيارة الإسعاف. And I will explain the words. يقوم النادل. This is another scenario. يقوم النادل برص الكراسي في المطعم. يعد الخباز فطائر الكرواسون. كما يقوم سائق التاكسي بتوصيل أحد الركاب حتى باب بيته. Now I have يحمل رجل الإسعاف. يحمل carries رجل الإسعاف is like the paramedic because إسعاف is emergency and you would say like سيارة الإسعاف as the emergency car which is the ambulance. And we say أسعف. أسعف is the verb to give someone their first aid and to rescue someone. So رجل الإسعاف in this context would be like the paramedic. يحمل he carries. So I need حمل 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 حمل. As I learn to read the word, I learn to repeat it multiple times. Repetition. I'm just going to bring more light so you can see the words. There you go. حمل حمل حمل, carry. And I would say حمل حمل. And I know رجل الإسعاف is the paramedic. I want to say حمل رجل رجل رجل. I write and I read. رجل ماذا؟ رجل الإسعاف. And this tells me, oh, I'm not right in front of you. There you go. حمل 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 رجل الإسعاف. Paramedic or rescue. I'm just saying rescue man because I want you to remember asafa to rescue someone. And I'll just put it down here so you can see asafa. Give him his first aid, rescue, asafa. And رجل الإسعاف is the paramedic. الإسعافي. حمل رجل الإسعاف. Who did he carry? The verb is حمل. He carried ماذا؟ أحد المصابين. One of the injured. So I would say أحد, one of. And usually when you have أحد, you need to put the plural. I'll put plural here. So you can say one of. أحد ماذا؟ أحد المصابين. المصابين, the injured. And if I want to say the plural, like over here is المصابين, the plural can also take المصابون, but not in this example. But I have to be aware of it. I need to tell myself that مصابون is مصابين, but over here مصابين because it comes after أحد, one of, المصابين. This is plural. What would be the singular? I would put the word مصاب right next to it. So I'm associating all the words and I'm keeping them right next to each other so I recall them when I review. أحد المصابين, one of the injured, and مصاب is one injured person. Where is he taking him? يحمل رجل الإسعاف أحد المصابين إلى المستشفى, to the hospital. Where? In what? في سيارة الإسعاف. And I look at سيارة الإسعاف. I'm looking, my learning objectives are to get verbs, to get some gerunds. So I need to focus on verbs and gerunds. سيارة الإسعاف. And الإسعاف is actually a gerund because the verb is أسعف. So I would put الإسعاف, which I have over here, الإسعاف as a gerund. So I put verb and noun. Now I have في سيارة الإسعاف وقد أنار. أنار, he light up, to light up, to turn on the light, which comes from nur. So I would say أنار. What did he أنار? What did he أنار? أنار المصباح, the lights. أنار المصباح. I have to write in front of you. أنار أنار المصباح. أنار المصباح. He lit up the what? المصباح, the lamp. أنار أنار ماذا? And it comes from nur, lights, nur. And I put nur as light. أنار is the verb. Nur is light, but it does not mean lighten up something. And Inara is the gerund that I need to remember. Inara, inara. If I'm going to say there is no light in this room, I use the noun inara. And I will write my example here. There is no light. I was trying not to put English here, but ya Allah. There is no light. لا توجد. لا توجد إنارة. And إنارة is the gerund for أنارة. لا توجد إنارة. لا توجد إنارة. لا توجد إنارة. لا توجد إنارة. There is no light. Okay, now we go back to the text. And I would say وقد أنار المصباح الموجودة أعلاها. And أعلاها refers to on top of the ambulance. And ambulance سيارة الإسعاف is feminine. Now I would say the second scenario here is يقوم النادل. النادل is the servant or the server. I should say it's the server, the coffee server. النادل برص. رص is line up in lines, like you put in one after the other. رص يرص. برص الكراسي في المطاعم. رص يرص. رص الكراسي. And if I look at the picture and I say, where is he? Oh, there it is, the image of رص الكراسي. I would bring it. Here we go. Oh, he has actually piling them up. There you go. The picture helped me remember the translation. Like rassa, piling them up, to pile up. Rassa al-karasi. There you go. Rassa al-karasi, pile up. And there's a nadil, مطعم الوردة الزرقاء. The blue flower restaurant, مطعم الوردة الزرقاء. And here rassa, the image helped me learn its pile up. There you go. And I have الخباز, مخبوزات, baked. مخبوزات is baked, but مخبزة is bakery. And of course I have the image of مستشفى, حملة, he carried. And then I would say, here's another سيارة الإسعاف, سيارة الإسعاف. And now I go back to this one. كما يقوم سائق التاكسي. سائق التاكسي, taxi driver. And I have سائق. سائق is the person. I'll put here number 7. سائق التاكسي. سائق التاكسي is the driver. And I will put سائق. What did سائق التاكسي do? سائق. It's funny to say that taxi is spelled differently in some countries. So because it's a taxi, but it's a taxi, you might find a ta or ta. Here they put the ta. In Marrakesh, I think they put ta. In Morocco. بتوصيل, here is a gerund. توصيل أحد الركاب. Do you see I have another example of أحد plus plural, which is amazing. I can just remember it here and come across this concept of putting one of plus a plural. بتوصيل, توصيل, توصيل, توصيل. قام سائق التاكسي بتوصيل. بتوصيل. So what I have here is توصيل as a gerund. توصيل is the gerund. If you remember form 2 of Arabic verbs, you will remember that وصل is to give someone a ride, and it's form number 2, and the gerund would be توصيل, 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 giving someone a ride. And we say سائق التاكسي. There we go. سائق التاكسي بتوصيل. So here I'm missing قام. قام. He did, or he executed the action. in the past would be قام. In the present, it would be يقوم. So قام, you'll have it at the beginning of the sentence when you're trying to say he executed the action of giving someone a ride. توصيل. توصيل. توصيل also has to do with delivery. Delivering, which is to give someone a ride, but توصيل is delivery. توصيل also delivery. If you come from a restaurant and you ask for توصيل, you would say توصيل من فضلك. خدمة التوصيل, delivery service. I'll put خدمة over here. خدمة التوصيل, so I can remember the context in which I put توصيل. Again, خدمة التوصيل is خدمة service, which is delivery service in this situation. You put delivery first, which is in English, you put delivery first. In Arabic, you put khidma first, service. If I want to say the taxi driver delivered or gave a ride to someone, I would say وصل سائق التاكسي أحد الراكبين, one of. Just put this one here. I'll say أحد. أحد. أحد plus plural الركاب or الراكبين. الركاب. 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 الركاب are passengers. حتى باب بيته. Till حتى till or until, till the door of his house, like till his doorstep. Basically, in English, you would say till his doorstep. حتى باب بيته. حتى باب بيته. حتى باب بيته. حتى باب بيته. So I'm trying to recall even the pronunciation of this 3-letter sentence. حتى باب بيته. وصلتها. قمت بتوصيل صديقتي حتى باب بيتها. Okay, I need to use it in a situation that's quite common. وصلت. وصلت. This one is quite common for me. For instance, I would say I gave my friend a ride till her doorstep. Yeah. وصلت صديقتي حتى بسيارتي. وصلتها بماذا؟ بسيارتي. To where? حتى, to or until, because in English you'd say to her doorstep, but in Arabic you're putting until or till. حتى باب بيتها. ممتاز, I got it here. ممتاز. I'm giving myself, see? It's ممتاز أستاذة رجا. ممتاز يا طلاب, ممتاز يا شباب. صديقتي بسيارتي حتى until, or to in English you'd say to her doorstep. باب بيتها, which is like door, and here you have house and her house. جميل جميل جميل. Okay. Now I have برص. رص يرص. رص يرص. That's pile up. I don't use that quite often. But here I have يعد. عد يعد. But it's أعد, not عد. أعد, to prepare. So I would say أعد, prepare, and أعد, okay, فطائر, pies. أعد الخباز فطائر, pies. فطائر. أعد الخباز خبز. So the baker prepared pies. So أعد prepared, and this is baker, and this are pies. And now I have all of my sentences about 8, and now I got 9, and here's 10, the 10th sentence. All of this is a wonderful way to go back and learn at a normal pace. I will keep saying that over and over and over, and I hope you got to this part in the video so you can remember that you have to take your time. Do not rush through any learning process. If you're complaining about retention or retaining vocab, it is mostly because you're rushing through content and you're not taking your time to process any new information or vocab. So after I go over my sentences one more time, I can read, reread, read, and read and read and read and repeat. So I will read all these 10 sentences one more time. I did put Ras al-Karasi. Yeah, I did put it. So that makes it 11 sentences. Ras al-Karasi. Oh, there you go. Yalla, I'll read again and see. That helps me also check my answers and see if I made any mistakes. So here, زاد السعر. I'll be putting English translation since I already started placing my English translation. So زاد السعر. What's زاد السعر? زاد السعر. زاد السعر. زاد السعر. زاد السعر. The price increased. Now, زاد عدد السكان. زاد عدد السكان. زاد عدد السكان. I recall the phrase and I try to think. I speak, I produce, I think. So زاد 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 عدد السكان. The number of residents. I'll just put this mark here. The number of residents, because it's plural, increased, and I have the verb increased here since I don't have room. قضى وقت فراغه في الشاطئ. He spent, and this one is time, not spend money. قضى وقت, spent his free time doing what or where? At the beach. I'll put at the beach here. At the beach. So قضى وقت فراغه في ماذا؟ في العمل? Free time at work? No. في السفر? Traveling? and then you would put any word or noun you choose to put must be identified. في الشاطئ. ازدحم السوق. ازدحم السوق. The market. To make it easier for me to read, I'll just put a different color so I don't confuse myself when I read. ازدحم السوق. ازدحم السوق. The market. What happened to it? ازدحم, got crowded. Crowded. And I'm using got crowded to remind me of the fact that this is ازدحم pattern. افتعل. افتعل pattern. حمل رجل الإسعاف أحد المصابين. رجل الإسعاف is the paramedic. The paramedic, right? That's how we spell it. The paramedic carried the injured. And I keep going over. أنار المصباح. لا توجد إنارة. رص الكراسي. سائق التاكسي بتوصيل, and I need to use قام or يقوم. بتوصيل من؟ بتوصيل أحد الركاب. أحد الركاب. And I have to say بتوصيل أحد الركاب because I have B over here, so it's not أحد. بأحد الركاب. توصيلي أحد الركاب. صحيح. No, hold on a second. بتوصيل من؟ توصيل أحد الركاب. No, it's أحد الركاب. صحيح. أحد الركاب. وصلت صديقتي بسيارتي حتى باب بيتها. وصلت صديقتي بسيارتي حتى باب بيتها. So I gave my friend a ride until the door of her house, which is to her doorstep. أعد الخباز فطائر. The baker prepared pies. فطائر 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 فطائر. We did it. Alhamdulillah. جيد. Something I would also encourage you to do is keep notes. Any notes of things you've learned today. So for example, you go like, what were my learning objectives? So you say learning objectives were to find verbs and gerunds. What did I do today? I learned to do what? To build my own examples. And the reason why you have to keep learning how to take notes and reflect, keep reflecting, you can take care of your self-assessment process, and you will be able also to track your progress. If you ever get lost somehow, you go like, this is what I did. This is how far I've gotten. And then you can look at these words and maybe just group them over here and think about رص, وصل, وإذا قلنا ازدحم, and just put them here without translation. زاد, what else do we have to put? حمل, أنار, ماذا قلنا? وصل, we did it. وصل, حمل, أعد, حمل, ازدحم, قضى, we did قضى. And there we go. So these would be your verbs, and you go check, and then you can find the gerunds again. And then of course you build your sentences. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you inshallah in upcoming videos. Thank you, and assalamu alaikum.